Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Talk About It with ReCee. I am your girl, ReCee, and thank you for stopping by. So, what I'm talking about today in today's video is how does the weather affect you? You know, no matter where you live, the weather is crazy everywhere. You know, because I'm going to talk about all four seasons and how they affect us. But I am in North Carolina, and let me tell you, North Carolina is used to usually have 4 seasons, but it has been topsy-turvy. So let me just get into it. The logistics of what I want to tell you is there are 28 states that are considered to have 4 seasons out of 50 states. Out of all 50 states, there are 28 states that are considered to have all 4 seasons. For example, North Carolina has warm summers and mild winters. Now, I can attest to that since I'm in North Carolina. I can attest to that. We have had mild winters. It snowed a couple of days ago, and it was just a dusting for where I'm located. So I'm not in the mountain area. But where I'm located, we just got a dusting. But I'm like a little kid to where I get my camera and I'm just taking pictures. So I was glad to see the snow. Plus, I knew it wasn't going to stay because it was just a dusting of snow, so it wasn't a whole lot. And our summers are pretty warm, so they're nice. It's manageable, I want to say. It's not like extreme heat. Normally, Vermont, Massachusetts are good for people who enjoy different seasons as well. Now, I don't know much about Vermont, Massachusetts, but if you're watching this video and if you're from Vermont, Massachusetts, send me a shout out. Say, hey, I'm here from Vermont. So I would know that there's somebody watching this video that's from Vermont, Massachusetts. Next, Portland, Oregon. I don't know much about Portland, Oregon, but it's been known to have cool, pleasant summers and mild winters as well. So that's good to know. I would actually like to visit Portland, Oregon one day. So again, if you are visiting my channel from Portland, Oregon today, please send me a shout out. Let me know in the comment section, hey, I'm visiting you from Portland, Oregon. Or if you ever even been to Portland, Oregon or Vermont, Massachusetts, please send me a shout out. Let me know. Macomb County, Michigan has all 4 seasons. Now, I have not been in Macomb County, Michigan, but I lived in Chicago when I was a little girl, and I remember the snow. I remember the winters, and you know, Illinois is not far from Michigan. Chicago, Illinois is not far from Michigan. So to find out that Macomb County, Michigan has all 4 seasons, I'm just saying okay to that. I do not want to visit Michigan because it's too close to Illinois, and ever since I left Illinois over a decade ago, I have not returned there because it's usually so cold in the wintertime. So, and Texas has 4 distinct seasons. Did you all know that? Texas has 4 distinct seasons. Now, if you're visiting me from Texas, send me a shout out. Let me know how the weather is there today. What is it like there in Texas today? I'd like to know. So what I'm going to get into is talking about the pros and cons of living in extreme heat kind of weather. There are definitely pros and cons to living in warm, sunny climate weather conditions. Think of the summertime. So of course the pros is sunlight exposure, which increases our serotonin levels. And it also affects our mental health and can help us feel more positive and happy. Now that's true, because when I was living in Florida, people were calling me sunshine because even though it was a sunshine state, I was always laughing and smiling and was just very positive. To me, it's easier to be smiley, happy, and positive when the sun is out. And you know, in Florida, that's the sunshine state. So most of the time, the sun is out. Even when it's raining, the sun is out lots of times in Florida. So if you all are watching my video and you can resonate, send me a thumbs up. Send me a thumbs up. Say, yeah, I lived in Florida or visited Florida, especially if you visit Disney World. I hear that a lot of people that visit Disney World, it rains on the day they visit and the sun is out and it's raining. Yeah, I don't think I've had that experience at Disney World, but in Florida. So yeah, it does help us with that mental health and increase our serotonin. So exposure to the sun can increase our vitamin D. Yes, vitamin D, which is important for our bone health. Yeah, I can definitely attest to that too, especially when I was living in Florida. Vitamin D is good for the skin as long as it's not too much vitamin D. And I also want to say, I believe that's why a lot of retirees move to warmer climates because of their bone health. So if they have arthritis, it really helps them to be able to stay outside longer. If they're hurting, it feels good to be outside, especially when it's pretty warm outside. So when the sun is out, we want to be outside too. And we want to go outside and play. And, you're never too old to go outside and play. You can always go outside and play. There are just some activities that are played better when the sun is out and it is warm. I know one of my favorite games is volleyball. I love to play volleyball. So yeah, I could play that outside all the time. Now, cons to living in extreme heat. Heat stress. It can lead to dehydration, heat stroke, and other heat illnesses. It could also affect our elderly people. And I think about my grandfather at this time because when he was living, he was a landscaper and by trade, and he always went outside to trim the hedges. He usually went outside in the mornings because he lived in Florida. So he went outside in the mornings to trim the hedges and to cut the grass. And father, he took a lot of pride in him keeping up my grandparents' yard. He took a lot of pride in it. So that's why I say he was a landscaper. But we cannot forget about our outdoor workers, like the workers that work for the city, that they have to be outside in extreme heat. So we cannot forget about them. That's very important. So now let's talk about the extreme, the cold and the snow. Remember I was telling you about Chicago? Yeah, I did not miss that snow. So that's why I love North Carolina, because it's where I live, we only get just the dusting. So let me tell you about the pros of living in the cold and snow climate, okay? Skiing, snowball fights, holidays associated with snow, taking pictures, and more pictures. Snow seems peaceful when you don't have to drive in it for some people. I do not like to drive in snow. It's because other people are more inclined to run into you that can't drive, okay? So the cons of living in a snow or cold climate is falling in the snow. If there's injuries, possible black ice, car accidents, arthritis, didn't layer up enough, your car breaking down, waiting till your car warms up, waiting till your Uber pulls up, waiting till your bus make it to the bus stop. Those things. Not to mention making sure your car is winterized and your tires are properly rotated. That's very important for living in a snow and cold kind of environment. Yeah, that's very, very important. So let's go to the next season, spring. Spring is a mild climate. Some places has little sun, and it's wet and gloomy time. I think about Ohio because I used to travel up and down the highways from North Carolina to Ohio, and North Carolina has a lot more sun than Ohio. So by the time I would make it to Ohio, it's gloomy and wet because it had been raining most of the time. So the pros to springtime, I want to say, like with sun, is flowers are about to bloom, warmer climate, and more sunlight hours. Because, when the flowers are about to bloom, you want to bring out your camera so you can take pictures of that. Cons to spring, here comes the bugs. Okay, here comes the bugs. You got more rainy days. It triggers your allergies, So from pollen in the air, no need to, with the pollen in the air, no need to constantly wash your car. Because, by the time you wake up the next morning, that pollen is going to be right back on your car. And you'll be like really upset. So for those of you who have garages, though, I know you don't have that issue about the pollen. But I know, when your allergies flare up and you sneeze around people, that makes people think that you have a little cold or something. You're like, no, it's allergies. I didn't forget about the fall. What I like about the fall is the leaves. What I don't like the fall is having to rake the leaves. So That's a pro and a con. So I just wanted to cover all 4 seasons. Now, if you notice, I did not cover the seasons in order on how we're used to the seasons, the 4 seasons presenting itself, because like I said, America has been topsy-turvy with Florida getting snow and then, other states getting crazy weather. So I didn't go in the order that we normally would know for our 4 seasons to go in. So wherever you're from, if you want to tell me your story of how the weather affects you, please feel free to comment down below. So comment, share, like, and subscribe this video. And thank you again for stopping by Talking About It with ReCee. All right, God bless and see you in the next video. Thanks. Bye.